Hello everyone. In this lecture video, I am going to discuss one of the types of cellular division that is very important to the human cell cycle and in the process of sexual reproduction. So to begin, allow me to show this picture. Have you ever wondered why do parents and children look alike? Well, biologically speaking, in order for an organism to be developed, there should be a union between sperm and egg. So the process of making and producing sperm and egg could somehow affect the differences between the physical appearance of a parent and the offsprings. So the production of these specialized cells, the sperm and the egg, is through cellular division as well. Now, in the process of cellular division, the genetic material plays a very important role because it holds the blueprint of the organism, the information that will dictate the traits of that certain organism. Now, the DNA in the cells of an organism is being condensed or packed into chromosome. The number of chromosomes in every organism differ. For human beings or Homo sapiens, we do have 46 number of chromosomes, and that's true to all normal human beings. We have to maintain the number of chromosomes in our cells. That's very important because it might affect our survival capability, or it could affect our structures as well as how we behave. So maintaining the number of chromosomes in our body and in our cells is necessary. But how and why do we maintain the normal number of chromosomes across generations? How do we maintain? Well, the answer lies in the process of sexual reproduction or in the human cell cycle. How the sperm and the egg are being produced. As you can see in the diagram, the ovary of females produces the egg, and the testes of males produces the sperm. The egg and the sperm are being produced in the process known as meiosis. So in this process, the multicellular diploid adults having 46 number of chromosomes, if it will undergo, the cell will undergo meiosis, it will become haploid. So from 46, it will be divided into 2, becoming haploid cells. Or in the case of human cell cycle, sexual reproduction, we call them as gametes. Okay. So from 46 number of chromosomes, it will be reduced to 23, both for the egg and the sperm. So, as what I have said earlier, that the formation of an organism is possible because of the union of the sperm and the egg, and that is through fertilization. So, the haploid gametes, the egg and the sperm, after fertilization, will produce a zygote that is diploid, having 46 number of chromosomes. The number 46 chromosome is a result of the 23 chromosome from the egg and another 23 chromosome from the sperm. And the zygote will further grow and develop with the use of mitosis and eventually will become an organism. And the cycle will repeat. But what is the difference between haploid and diploid? So, when we say haploid cell, just like the sex cells, the sperm and the egg, they contain only half the number of chromosomes. Let's say, for example, for human beings, we have 46 number of chromosomes. If we have haploid cells in our body, egg for the females, and sperm for the males, then those specialized cells, they only contain 23 number of chromosomes. While a diploid cell contains the complete number of chromosomes, that's 46. So it means in a human body, all the cells except for the egg and the sperm, all the cells contain 46 number of chromosomes. Okay? So again, in humans, the haploid chromosome number is 23. It is represented by N, small letter N, while the diploid is 46, represented by 2 times N. So if our N is 23, multiply it by 2, that will give you 46. So that's the difference between haploid cell and diploid. Haploid means it contains half the number. Diploid means it contains the complete number of chromosomes. Okay. So we have already discussed and we're already talking about chromosomes and sex cells. So let's go deeper into these concepts. So technically speaking, class, our cells are specialized, right? We have specialized cells in our body. Technically speaking, the cells, though they differ in their size, shape, and function, they can be divided into 2 major groups. So we have somatic cells in our body, and we have germ cells in our body as well. So what's the difference between somatic cells and germ cells? So when we say somatic cells, class, these are also called the body cells. These are all the cells in our body except for the cells that lines, or the cells such as the sperm and the egg. Okay? So somatic cells, they are also diploid. They contain 46 number of chromosomes. The germ cells, these are cells that can be found in the ovaries for the females and testes for the males. They also contain 46 chromosomes. However, the number 46 or 46 chromosomes in the germ cells in the process of meiosis will be reduced to become a haploid cell in the form of sperm and egg. Okay? So again, the cells in our body is divided into 2 major groups, the somatic cells and the germ cells. The germ cells, under meiosis, they will produce sperm and egg which have 23 number of chromosomes only. Now the question is, how are the sex cells being produced or differentiated? Well, the formation of sperm and egg varies. For the male, okay, the production of sperm happens in the male gonad, also known as the testes. For the female gamete, which is the egg cell or the ovum, okay, ova if plural. Ovum is the term for unfertilized egg. So the unfertilized egg of females, the ovum, is produced in the female gonad, specifically the ovaries. Okay, please take note of that. So the process of producing sperm in males is called spermatogenesis. On the other hand, the process of producing eggs for females is called oogenesis. So, how do spermatogenesis and oogenesis are being done? Okay, so for spermatogenesis, as you can see, this is a germ cell. As what I've said, germ cell contains still 46 number of chromosomes. So, in the process of meiosis, okay, because later we will discuss the different divisions and stages of meiosis, but as you can see in the diagram, meiosis is divided into two major divisions, meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. So, this germ cell will undergo the first stage of meiosis, thus producing two daughter cells. The two daughter cells each contains half of the chromosome of the parent. So if you have 46 here, after meiosis 1, it will become 23. So we have now secondary spermatocyte because this is the primary spermatocyte, the parent cell. So after meiosis 1, it will produce two secondary spermatocyte having haploid number of chromosomes. So, that's not the end of the process. After meiosis 1, meiosis 2 will take over. So it means that each daughter cells produced during meiosis 1 will undergo further division. So, if we have 23 number of chromosomes here from this secondary spermatocyte, after meiosis 2, it will have or it will produce two daughter cells with 23 or same number of chromosomes. Same with this another secondary spermatocyte. So, in one primary spermatocyte, at the end of spermatogenesis, one primary spermatocyte will produce 4 spermatogenesis having haploid number of chromosomes. But take note, I'll say it in advance. These 4 sperms are not identical. They are haploid, but they are not identical. Okay? So, how about for oogenesis? Well, as you can see, we also have here a primary oocyte. Okay. These are the germ cell of the ovary of the females, the primary oocyte. So this primary oocyte also class contains 46 number of chromosomes. Then, it will undergo meiosis 1 in this level, and then we have meiosis 2. Okay. So, what's unique in the process of oogenesis is that if a primary oocyte will undergo meiosis 1, it will only produce one secondary oocyte. The other half will become a polar body. What is this polar body? This polar body class doesn't have the capacity to be fertilized. Okay, so it means in one primary oocyte, after meiosis 1, it will only produce one active secondary oocyte. The other half will become inactive. Okay? However, it doesn't mean that both of them or one of them will not undergo further cellular division because they have to complete the process of meiosis. So after meiosis 1, they will undergo further into cell division in meiosis 2. So as you can see here, if a polar body will further divide, it will produce two polar bodies. Again, these two polar bodies, they don't have the capacity to be fertilized. However, the secondary oocyte, if it will undergo meiosis 2, then it will produce one egg, okay, and then the other one will become a polar body as well. Okay, so going back in the spermatogenesis process. If we have one primary spermatocyte, this one primary spermatocyte at the end of meiosis, it will produce 4 daughter cells that are haploid and active. On the other hand, in the oogenesis or in the formation of egg, one primary oocyte will produce 1 egg that can be fertilized and can turn into immature egg cell, and the 3 will become polar bodies. These polar bodies against class, they don't have the capacity to be fertilized. The polar bodies die and only 1 ovum, this unfertilized egg, is produced from each primary oocyte. So, if males already produced sperm in the process of spermatogenesis, and a female already produced an egg in the process of oogenesis, then they might have sexual intercourse, wherein it would create an avenue for the union of the sperm and the egg to form zygote. And that process is known as fertilization. So, still, in the oogenesis process, as you can see, the number of chromosomes of the daughter cell produced here, in the case of this successful egg that could be fertilized, it contains also 23 number of chromosomes. Okay. So, in the process of fertilization, if the sperm contains 23 number of chromosomes and the egg contains another 23 number of chromosomes, if they will unite, then the number of chromosomes will add up coming from the egg and the sperm, and it will form a zygote that is now diploid. Okay? So a zygote is a diploid cell containing 46 number of chromosomes, and it is the product of the union of the 2 haploid cells, the sperm and the egg.